So some important clauses we have to see for the designing of slab, for the detailing of the slab, as well as for the scheduling of the slab. So that all clauses you will be able to find in the SP34. Also the code is there IS456, but in IS456 detailed description is not given. If you want to learn in detail all the clauses and all the consideration and recommendation were made by the Bureau of Indian Standard, so you need to read SP34. In SP34 all the things is given in a detailed way, but the problem is that the revision of SP34 is 1987. So wherever controversy is going to generate and is going to develop, in that situation you have to follow IS456. This point I also have told you in the previous session. Okay, so here we are going to see what actually the recommendation for the designing of the slab. What should be the preliminary sizes of the what should be the spacing of the reinforcement, longitude, main reinforcement, distribution reinforcement, what should be the cover to the slab, what should be the diameter of the reinforcement, minimum and maximum, percentage minimum and maximum, how to curtail the bars, how to bend the bars, that all things we have to cover in this you will learn from this code SP34. Okay, so very first you need to understand how much percentage you can provide for the slab section. How much percentage you can provide for the slab section. So as per the coder recommendation, the required percentage of reinforcement is 0.15% where the plain bars are used. Suppose how much percentage you actually have to provide, that will be is equal to area of steel will is equal to 0.15% of B into D.
If you want to learn complete ETABS software and want to become a practicing structural engineer, so wait for what? Pick up your phone and contact with us at 8857891345.
0.15% of cross section area of your slab, this much reinforcement you have to provide for the slab. Next, but this is actually for plain bars. If you are using mild steel bar, in that situation you have to provide 0.15%. And suppose if you are using high yield strength bars, in that situation 0.12% you have to provide. 0.12% of B into D, this much percentage you have to provide for the slab. So this is actually the minimum reinforcement, and maximum reinforcement is similar to that of your beam. Maximum 4% you are allowed to provide for the beam, as well as same recommendation for the slab also. Okay, so this is the minimum and maximum percentage recommendation for the slab. Now next, spacing. How much spacing for the main bars and distribution bars, how much spacing you have to provide. So as you know, there are two types of bars for the slab. One is your main bars and second one is your distribution bars. Main bars, in case of, if suppose you are designing the one-way slab, so in case of one-way slab, see, in case of one-way slab, the main reinforcement will be along the shorter direction. So how much spacing you have to maintain between two longitudinal bars, two main bars. So that recommendation is given here. Spacing, the pitch of the bars of the main tensile reinforcement in solid slab shall not be more than thrice of the effective depth of the slab. So first recommendation, you know, there are design recommendation, and second one is the detailing recommendation. So all the recommendation that we are discussing here, that is for the detailing recommendation. So as per the detailing requirement, the spacing should be what? First recommendation is First recommendation is 3 times effective depth of the slab. This is the first. Second one is, in no any case your spacing should be more than 300 mm. So these two detailing recommendation is there. First is 3 times effective depth and second one is 300 mm. Here it is given 450, but as I told you, it is 1987 revision. But if you look as 456, in that code it is given 300. Here it is given 450. So as controversy is going to generate, that's why we are going to follow IS 456 2000. So as per the IS 456 2000, the spacing should be what? 300 mm. So this is first and this is second, and these two recommendation is for main bars. The pitch of the distribution bars or the pitch of the bars provided against the shrinkage and temperature. Yesterday we are discussing about this point. Okay, for what purpose we are providing the distribution reinforcement in the slab? So the purpose is to prevent your slab from the shrinkage, and ultimately shrinkage nothing but the cracks. Okay, so to prevent this development of crack in your slab and to prevent the temperature stresses, we need to provide the distribution reinforcement. Okay, so distribution reinforcement is required to provide, and the spacing recommendation is what? 5 times effective depth. What? First one is what? 5 times effective depth. This much spacing you have to provide, and second one is the, in no any case the spacing should be more than 450 mm. Okay, so these two criteria is given for the main and distribution reinforcement, especially for the spacing. Is that clear? Now cover. How much cover you have to provide? No, 450 mm. For the distribution reinforcement, maximum allowed is 450. Maximum allowed is 450. Okay, so next is covering. How much cover you have to provide, and you know what is the purpose of providing the cover? To prevent the corrosion and to prevent the loss of life of your reinforcement. Okay, and all kinds of failure, we have to provide the cover to the tension reinforcement of the slab. So how much cover you have to maintain, how much cover you have to provide? So that is specified by the code. The cover at each end of reinforcing bar shall be neither less than 25 mm or nor less than twice the diameter of such bar. It means what? Suppose the slab is there like this. This type of slab is there, and the reinforcement you are going to provide, suppose main reinforcement is there, bent up bar like this. Along the shorter span we are looking this section. So how much side cover you have to maintain? We are talking about the side reinforcement, not for the bottom reinforcement. Okay, bottom cover, we are discussing about the side cover. So side cover, that should be maintained, that should be what? Minimum 25 mm. It should be what? Minimum 25 mm. That is specified by the code. Okay, it should not be less than 25 mm or not less than twice the diameter of such bar. Suppose we are going to use 10 mm dia bar in this slab, so two times 10 mm dia, that will become 20. So minimum of these two, your cover should not be less than these two value, that is 25 and 20. So obviously 25 is greater, so minimum side cover we have to provide as 25 mm. Okay, now next, minimum cover to the reinforcement, that is tension and compression reinforcement. Now we are talking about from the base and from the top. From the base, effective cover or top cover. So minimum cover to the reinforcement, tension and compression and shear shall not be less than 15 mm. It is clear cover, it is not effective cover, it is what? Clear cover. So clear cover minimum should be what? 15 mm or not less than diameter of bar. Suppose we are using the 10 mm dia bar, so 10 and 15, obviously 15 is greater, so minimum cover for the slab you have to provide as 15 mm. Is that clear? Hello? Okay, now how much diameter you can use for the slab? The second recommendation and second important point, bar dia. The main bars in the slab shall not be less than 8 mm. The main bars, if you are using the high yield strength bar, HYSD bar, so in that situation minimum dia of bar should be 8 mm or 10 mm if you are using plain bars, yield strength mild bar if you are using Fe250 likewise. So in that situation you have to use minimum 10 mm dia bar and 8 mm dia bar if you are using high yield strength bar. But practically nowadays we are using 10 mm dia bar for the slab. If you look if you are visiting to site in Bombay, Pune, okay, in most of the metropolitan cities. So they are using 10 mm dia bar, least diameter of bar as 10 mm. Okay, so it is not in practice 8 mm dia bar, but if look small cities there, they are using the 8 mm dia also, and if you are using 8 mm, that's not any big issue, you can use. But current scenario is what we are not using the 8 mm dia bar. Is that clear? Hello. Yeah, the diameter of the bar shall not also be more than, so it is the minimum criteria 8 and 10. You can't use the diameter of bar with below to this value, but the diameter of the bar shall not also be more than 1/8 of the slab thickness. So as I told you that the slab thickness are ranging, if you are designing the normal residential building, so in that situation, if you are designing the slab whose span is 5 within a 5 meter, both the dimension Lx and Ly, both the dimension, if it is within the 5 meter, so that slab will be satisfied with the design depth of 120 to 130 mm. Hello, is it correct? 120 to 130 mm is a sufficient depth for the slab. Okay, so suppose this much depth is there, suppose I am taking 120 mm. So what the clause says that the maximum dia of bar for the slab shall not be more than 1/8 of the slab thickness. So 120 divided by 8.
If you want to learn complete ETABS software and want to become a practicing structural engineer, so wait for what? Pick up your phone and contact with us at 8857891345.
16 mm dia bar, you have to maximum limit. You can't exceed this limit for the slab. Okay, so these are the recommendation for the covering, bar diameter, spacing, minimum maximum percentage of reinforcement. So it is very important to know for you all. If you want to learn more about this slab consideration and all the things, so I recommend to read this SP34. Okay, now some important point we have to see only, otherwise it is very vast, you can read it on your own. Okay, some detailing requirement, bent up bars. Okay, so see, in case of one-way slab, so in plan, first look for in plan arrangement. So this is the one-way slab. If you look, this is the one-way slab, this is the shorter span, this is the shorter span Lx, and this is your longer span, this is the Ly. So main reinforcement will be along the shorter span and distribution reinforcement along the longer span. And the bent up location from the face of the support will be 0.1 L. At from what location you have to bent up the slab, bent up the main reinforcement, so that distance from the face of the slab, face of the support will be 0.1 L from both the side along the shorter direction. Okay, so this is the main reinforcement, this is the distribution reinforcement. And another important point is that, see, the main reinforcement will be always at the bottom and distribution reinforcement will be at the top. Okay, main reinforcement will be always at the bottom and distribution reinforcement will be at the top. Is that clear? Hello. Yeah, so this is the section of the slab, distribution reinforcement and main reinforcement, and this is the representation for the two-way slab. In case of two-way slab, both the reinforcement will be main reinforcement along the shorter direction as well, in the longer direction as well. So in both the direction, the reinforcement will be main. Okay, so there are two options. Either you can follow the curtailment type of detailing, either you can follow the bent up type of detailing. So both options are available, and in most of the accepted option is bent up. Nowadays, for the scheduling and for the execution of the site, for the beams, we are actually following the curtailment option for the scheduling and detailing of the beams, and that thing you can also do for the slab. but there are some reason due to which we are following the bent up option for the slabs. Okay, so over the continuous support, as similar to that of beam, there will be the negative moment over the support. These beams and your slab are almost same. Their design steps, their behavior, structural behavior, their flexural behavior, everything is same. Beams and slab. That's why their design steps are also same. Their scheduling steps are also same. Their detailing steps are also same. If you look for the slab, so you will get the negative moment over the support. You will get the negative moment over the support. Why we are going to bend up these bars? There should be some reason, and the reason is what? As similar to that of your beam, we will get the negative moment over the support. So here the negative moment will be there, and from this point, when you move to this point, you will get the negative moment here. So as the negative moment you are getting, so you need to provide the reinforcement at the top. You know very well. For the sagging moment, reinforcement will be at the bottom, and for the hogging moment, reinforcement will be at the top. So that's why alternate bars we are going to bend, and that bent up bar comes at the top. This bent up bar, one bar will come from this side, and this will be straight, and will when it is reaches to support, there will be the bent up, and that bent up will go at the top, and then it runs to the next span. Okay, so that bent up will be what? Up to that curtailment spacing up to what? 0.3 L1. इस साइड का जो आपका reinforcement आएगा, that reinforcement will be what? Up to this point, and from this side this reinforcement will be up to this point. Is that okay? Hello? Yeah. And the spacing is what? 0.3 L1 and 0.3 L2. This means one third of your clear effective span. One third of your effective span L1, one third of your effective span L2. Up to that distance, you have to take this this bent up bar. Up to that point, you have to extend this bent up bar. Is that clear? Hello? And the same point, this bent up will be from the bottom. It will be what? At a distance of 0.15 L1, and from the intermediate support, this is the end support, and this is the intermediate support. The spacing will be what? 0.25 L1. Why this difference? Can anyone tell me? Why this difference? I have explained this point one by one, please. Yes, that is actually given, but I am asking about the reason. What actually the reason? Yes. Over the end support, the moment will be less. Over the end support, the movement will be less, and over the continuous support, movement will be more. So that's why you have to you have an option to bend up the bars at a large distance from the intermediate support. Okay, because let's try to understand again. Actually, I have explained these points many times. So here the movement is what? Like this. So see, this spacing is less. Your movement nature is going to change from sagging to hogging. So this is the change point, and up to the change point, and a little bit beyond this change point, you have to provide the curtailment, or we can say you have to bend up the bar. Okay, so this is small distance, and if you look the same thing from the intermediate support, so as you are getting the maximum movement over the intermediate support, so here you have option to bend up the bar from the large distance. Is that okay? Hello? This is actually the reason. And another option is curtailment type of arrangement. Same thing is there, everything is same, only the difference is what? You can cut the bars. You can cut the bar as similar to that of your beam. Okay, so these two types of arrangement is there. With this arrangement you can provide the reinforcement in the slabs. Okay, so these are some important points we have covered from the SP34, and many things are there. You can read it okay, when you get the time. So just read it once, so you will get all the things from this clause, from this code. Okay. Yes, cantilever slab is also there. cantilever type of slab is also, every type of slab is there. You can see, yeah, let me show. Let's see, this is the cantilever type of slab. Okay, another figure is also there. Let me show you. Yeah, see, this is the cantilever slab. If the slab is running over the support, so in that situation, how to maintain the, how to detail the slab, that is given. All the thing is similar to that of your beam. There is not a great difference. Okay, this is a chhajja type of slab if you are designing. So how to provide the reinforcement, that is also given here. Is that clear? Hello. Okay, so now we are going to design the slab. So first we look for the two-way slab, then we will proceed for the designing of one-way slab, then finally we will design the cantilever slab. So yesterday some part of this sheet we have discussed, but I am going to repeat it again so that you will understand all the things. So this sheet is using this sheet you will be able to design two-way slab only. You are not able to design one-way slab, cantilever slab. Okay, only the two-way slab you can design with this sheet.
If you want to learn complete ETABS software and want to become a practicing structural engineer, so wait for what? Pick up your phone and contact with us at 8857891345.